Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so I made a previous video about this whole situation, but I didn't have all the information. We didn't have an official statement from the ESA confirming that E3 2020 has in fact been cancelled, but we do have that now, so I figured I'd just remake that video, but with all the information in one place, so that you kind of can keep track of all the developments surrounding this story. So here's everything you need to know. It all began with a tweet from Digital Devolver on March 10th, 2020 at 6 p.m. They, out of the blue, tweeted out, "Cancel your E3 flights and hotels, y'all." Digital Devolver is a publishing company that was going to participate in E3 2020, so they would know what's going on with all the goings-ons of that event. And them saying cancel your flights and hotels, that was pretty telling on its own. That indicated that they knew something we didn't. While they didn't directly say it, this suggested that E3 2020 was very likely to be canceled. And then from there, Jason Schreier picked up on this and tweeted out the following: "Been hearing secondhand whispers tonight from several developers and publishers that E3 is canceled, although I've also heard from a couple of people in positions to know that the ESA hasn't officially made a decision yet and is still consulting with publishers. Either way, it's only a matter of time." We know now with the ESA statement that I'll get to that they have in fact made a decision, that they have in fact decided to proceed with a cancellation of the event due to concerns surrounding a certain world event that if I mention, I might get demonetized, but you know what I'm talking about. And then he added, "Heard from two people that E3 cancellation will be announced tomorrow in the morning, both secondhand, and one person with ESA ties who insists that it won't be. Normally I sit on conflicting info until I sort out what's true, but with E3 rumors now everywhere, I figured I'd be transparent here. But again, whether or not it's announced tomorrow morning, it's only a matter of time before E3 is officially canceled. Publishers cannot afford to wait much longer to make their plans, and all signs point to the getting way worse in the US before it gets better." And then from here we have a report from Mike Futter, who is sort of a games industry journalist and who has insider information. He said, "My day started with investigating some E3 stuff, ended with multiple, and I mean multiple sources coming my way. E3 cancellation announcement scheduled for tomorrow in the morning. I don't think it will hold the night. Many of us have been engaged by sources this evening. Cancel your plans." Now, Mike here talked about something interesting that I didn't cover in my last video. These are tweets made after the ESA issued their statement confirming the cancellation of E3. He said, "With GameSpot now sharing an official ESA statement, let me be clear, there is something very strange going on at the ESA. There's a lot more to this story. What I will share is that last night at about 7 p.m. Eastern, my DM started lighting up with the same question from a number of industry sources. What are you hearing about E3? I had learned early yesterday that a cancellation was likely coming this week. That quickly turned into tomorrow morning, today, and then a specific time, 9:30, no time zone. So they either were 2 hours late or an hour early, depending on which time zone. So they're just signs that there are elements of disarray happening behind the scenes at the ESA that might stretch beyond the current events, the current world issue that is transpiring. So that's something to keep an eye out for." And then Ars Technica noted in their story that, quote, "Multiple sources familiar with the Entertainment Software Association's plans have confirmed to Ars Technica that the organization, which is responsible for the annual Electronic Entertainment Expo, will soon cancel the 3-day expo." One source who spoke to Ars on background said they had heard the news of E3 2020's cancellation directly from ESA members and that an official public statement on the matter was supposed to be today, Tuesday, March 10th, and slipped. And now it's March 11th, and we actually got that statement. Here's an update from Ars Technica with the statement in question, which I'll get to soon. Last but not least, here is a Bloomberg article that not only highlighted Ars Technica's report on the matter, they also cited that the cancellation is planned to be announced at 9:30 a.m. Los Angeles time on March 11th by the Entertainment Software Association, according to a person familiar with the matter. The ESA, which organizes the show commonly known as E3, wrote in a private memo to partners on Tuesday that it is exploring options for an online E3 event this summer. Which finally brings us to the ESA statement, which confirms all the rumors and reports floating around. The headline reads, "E3 2020 canceled due to growing concerns over Vrba." Washington, March 11th, 2020. After careful consultation with our member companies regarding the health and safety of everyone in our industry, our fans, our employees, our exhibitors, and our longtime E3 partners, we have made the difficult decision to cancel E3 2020, scheduled for June 9th to 11th in Los Angeles. Following increased and overwhelming concerns about the we felt this was the best way to proceed during such an unprecedented global situation. We're very disappointed that we're unable to hold this event for our fans and supporters, but we know it's the right decision based on the information we have today. Our team will be reaching out directly to exhibitors and attendees with information about providing full refunds. We are also exploring options with our members to coordinate an online experience to showcase industry announcements and news in June 2020. Updates will be shared on e3expo.com. We thank everyone who shared their views on reimagining E3 this year. We look forward to bringing you E3 2021 as a reimagined event that brings fans, media, and the industry together in a showcase that celebrates the global video game industry. So the ESA isn't fully giving up on E3 in that they are coordinating for a potential online experience where they coordinate with all these different publishers to do their, I guess, Nintendo Direct style presentation within a certain time frame that matches with what E3 2020 schedule would have been like or something along those lines. But it is very much going to be an online sort of live streamed type of experience. It's going to be a very digital event now. There's just not going to be an in-person show floor type of experience due to growing concerns surrounding the So yeah, this is the situation right now. And this comes in after the ESA initially expressed confidence that they'll go full speed ahead with E3 2020 despite concerns. That was 9 days ago, but then a few days ago, they kind of changed their minds a bit and provided an update on the saying that we're monitoring and evaluating the situation daily. So they went from, now we're doing this to, actually, we might have to wait and see what happens. Wait and see we did, and this is the outcome. They eventually figured that cancellation is probably the safest bet. Safety comes first, and it's a decision that I agree with given the current circumstances surrounding the and how much worse that situation has gotten worldwide. It would be a bad idea to bring in people from all over the world and have them congregate in this building where that thing could really spread. So, an unfortunate decision, but one that I think had to be made. And then this also comes in after I'm 8-Bit pulled out of E3 2020 on March 5th, 2020, having tweeted the following: "It's with mixed emotions that I'm 8-Bit has decided to resign as creative directors of what was to be an evolutionary E3 2020 floor experience." So this was pretty suspicious, the fact that they were pulling out a few months prior to the E3 event, especially given they play such a big role in the organization of E3 2020. They were supposed to be the creative directors. It's not normal for something like this to happen. So the writing was kind of on the wall with this. And then with GDC being postponed as a result of current events, and then with PAX having seen a lot of developers drop out of the event out of concern, I mean, all signs seem to point to the current set of circumstances. It all seemed to indicate that E3 2020 was fated to be canceled. And I'll bring up again that this all raises the question of what does this mean for E3, an event that's kind of become more and more irrelevant over the years, as Jason Schreier cited right here. If E3 2020 is canceled and the video game publishers wind up doing digital events instead, I expect most of them to look at how little they lose by not being there and how much money they save, and follow Sony's lead in ditching E3 permanently. Big existential moment here. So this whole situation might inadvertently make a lot of these developers and publishers and studios see that there's really no need to attend an event like E3. They can just make announcements just however they want. They can control their own messaging during the days and times that they want, and they can do so digitally via live stream, whatever it is, and word will spread due to the digital era that we live in today. So E3 either has to really overhaul itself to be more fan-focused rather than being sort of this trade show, or it's just going to kind of die off or become a much smaller event where companies like Sony may not necessarily feel like they have to attend as they did years ago when E3 was sort of the Super Bowl of video games. It is kind of sad that this is happening because E3 does hold a special place in my heart because I met so many people through E3, from developers to fans to other media outlets and other journalists and YouTubers and the like, all kind of coming together to celebrate games and to get excited about the same things and to be able to express that to people who are not attending E3 but are tuning in online. Say what you want about E3, but there was definitely a certain sense of camaraderie that I'm gonna miss this year, though there's gonna be plenty of coverage to do online, so look forward to that. But still, I fear that what Jason Schreier is saying here might become reality and that E3 will be no more, or it'll just not be what it once used to be. One can hope that they'll, make the right moves moving forward and that they'll manage to kind of spark new life to it. For now, though, I'm wondering what these major companies who had big E3 plans will do, how their plans will shift. Microsoft, for example, was supposed to have this major E3 where they were going to blow the lid wide open on Xbox Series X. No doubt they're going to have to change their format quite a bit by doing a more Nintendo Direct style live stream. But I get the sense that at the end of the day, regardless of what the format is, word spreads fast these days, and Nintendo Direct has proven to be quite effective. So I imagine that if Microsoft hosts something similar during the E3 timeframe and everyone coordinates, people will tune in, word will spread, and the level of exposure that their announcements receive won't be all that negatively affected. But no doubt this is a disruption that has caused Microsoft to probably kind of throw away certain plans that they had. Same thing with a company like Bethesda or Ubisoft or EA, who had plans to attend E3 in some capacity. All those plans are out the window and they probably have to rethink certain things. So I'm sure we'll hear all about that in the coming months. We'll hear exactly when to tune in for what digital press conferences and trailers and gameplay demos and announcements and such. So look forward to that. I'll keep you guys updated. In the meantime, though, let me know in the comments below what your thoughts and opinions are on the cancellation of E3 2020 and what it means for the future of E3 as a whole. Drop a comment below, and to be further updated on all things gaming news, reviews, and discussions, stay tuned right here on Young Yeah. I'll see you guys next time. Young out.